All right, so it looks like everyone is in. So welcome to this month's continuing education for the Pennsylvania District, Kiwanis International. Tonight we are going to discuss Kiwanis Partnership. This is presented by Brian Root from the Greensburg Club, and he is the Pennsylvania District Partnerships Chair. So welcome, Brian, and take it away.
All right, thank you, Brittany. Hello, everybody. I'm glad to be with you all tonight. I do want to preface this by saying I'm a little under the weather tonight, so if my voice sounds a little hoarse and I'm drinking water every now and then, that's kind of why. So, but tonight we want to talk about Kiwanis partnerships and what that looks like. So we're going to jump right in. I'm hoping that at the end of our conversation, if any of you have any existing partnerships in your clubs that you'd like to share with us, we'd love to hear a little bit about those. But let's talk about partnerships. So Kiwanis International actually has two kinds of partnerships with both nonprofit and for-profit organizations. There are club resource partners. So those are partners that benefit Kiwanis as an organization, and they support what our clubs are doing. Okay, these club resource partners are, as you'll learn in a minute, are also partners that make money for Kiwanis International. Then there are member benefit partners. Those are partners that exist for the individual Kiwanian. They exist as kind of a perk for Kiwanis members. The idea of partnerships was something that was started about 10 years ago by Kiwanis International. And every year, these partners are kind of evaluated and annual contracts are signed to renew those partnerships. So right now, you may be wondering who are the official partners. And what I do want to tell you is that you can find a list of partners anytime on the Kiwanis International website. It's just kiwanis.org/partners. Kiwanis chooses partners that align with the Kiwanis mission, and they also choose partners that match the Kiwanis demographics. So as I said, new partners are considered regularly. So even as individual Kiwanians, if you ever thought, wow, I think Kiwanis should have a partnership with this organization, you can suggest that to Kiwanis International, but they have a committee at KI that reviews these partnerships and, like I said, renew contracts annually. On this next page, you'll see there's an exhaustive list of our current partnerships. So there are partnerships that Kiwanis has had in the past that may not be on the list. And that may be because for whatever reason that annual contract was not renewed. And that could have been by Kiwanis doing or by the organization's doing. But what I wanted to point out here are the for-profit partnerships. So these are the partnerships that generate revenue for Kiwanis International. And on this list here, all of the organizations and businesses in blue generate revenue for Kiwanis International. So there is a revenue interest with these partnerships for KI. So when you look at, the Colonial Flag Foundation or Office Depot, when Kiwanis clubs or individual Kiwanians do business with these organizations under the name of Kiwanis, Kiwanis International does benefit financially from them. All right. So this list, again, you can go to the website and see this at any time, but I kind of wanted to show the two kinds of partnerships, the partnerships that benefit Kiwanis financially, but also those nonprofit partnerships that exist for partnerships in more of a service-minded attempt. So what does this actually look like for us as club members? There's a couple things that we may see on the surface level. One is that we may be receiving email or mail communications from some of these partners. And for some of us, we may wonder, how did we get on that? How are we getting spammed by that organization? Well, some of that is because of Kiwanis partnership. those organizations that are partners with KI oftentimes have access to market to us as individuals in clubs. You'll see them featured in their newsletters, on their social media promotions, and even in the Kiwanis magazine. A lot of the ads, a lot of the paid ads that you'll see are from official KI partners. And then even on monthly reports, for those of us who are club secretaries or review monthly reports, for our official kind of service partners, such as Boy Scouts, you'll see that there is a space on the monthly report to share whether you partnered with one of those organizations or not. That's why some of these organizations show up on the monthly report. All right, so let's take a look. We don't have time to look at every partner, but I kind of wanted to highlight a few just to kind of give you some examples of what the official KI partners look like. So this screen here shows 3 of our kind of more nonprofit / service partnerships. Boy Scouts of America, who most of us are probably familiar with. KI has an official partnership with them. Up with People, which is an organization that I personally was not super familiar with until preparing for tonight. But it's a global organization that focuses on service through music. And then March of Dimes, which I feel like is another kind of common one that we've heard about. And so on your monthly reports, and you probably see KI pushing organizations like these, and they would love to see us at the club level partner with these organizations because of those partnerships. On this next screen, you'll see 3 additional partnerships, and these are partnerships that really benefit KI in kind of a financial sort of way. So let's take a look at the Kiwanis Warehouse. So Kiwanis Warehouse is one that I've personally used. It's actually a partnership with Dollar Days. Dollar Days is sort of an online warehouse where you can get various kinds of supplies, either school supplies or things like that. Our club used Dollar Days / Kiwanis Warehouse to get coloring books and crayons. It's very similar to, if some of you may be familiar with Oriental Trading, it's also kind of an online warehouse website. But Kiwanis Warehouse is an official partnership. So at the club level, we save some money through that partnership, but KI does make some money off of that partnership as well whenever we use it. Landscape Structures at the bottom of your screen. This is KI's official partner when it comes to playgrounds. So if your club is ever considering a significant playground project, or maybe you have, Landscape Structures is our official partner. In fact, some of you may recall that I believe it was just about a month ago, KI did a contest for a playground, and that was a partnership with Landscape Structures. And then another one I wanted to highlight was just Office Depot or Office Max. Office Depot provides competitive pricing to Kiwanians and Kiwanis clubs, and you can create an account on their website and receive special pricing just for being a Kiwanian. On this next page, these are what I would call membership perks. These are 3 partnerships that exist really for the individual member when it comes to kind of being, benefits for being a Kiwanian. So one is with a partnership with Visa. You can actually get a Kiwanis Visa rewards credit card. And so as a result, you'll have a perk system where you can, gain rewards for using your Kiwanis Visa card. And KI also is rewarded through your use of the Visa partnership. Kiwanis also has a partnership when it comes to cruises. You can go right to the partnership website and click on this, and you'll find special fares available to Kiwanis members if you're looking to take a cruise. And then the top right one is the Hilton. So if you've ever attended international convention, usually there's a special rate with Hilton and because that's a standing relationship that Kiwanis International has. So Kiwanis members can receive special Kiwanis member rates whenever you stay at the Hilton. So you'll definitely want to inquire about those if you ever do plan on staying at the Hilton, whether it's for a Kiwanis event or not. So those are some of the partnerships that we have. I did want to show you all real quick the partnership website if you've not been to it. So I'll pull that up here in a second. All right, can you all see my screen again?
Yes.
All right. All right, so the Kiwanis partnership website looks like this. And what I found really nice about the website is that you can scroll down, you can take a look at all the different partners. And I'm just going to use the Boy Scout one as an example. When you click on the link to that partner, there's a toolkit for each one of these partners. And the toolkit is really nice because let's say your club doesn't have an existing relationship with Boy Scouts, but you'd like to create one. The toolkit gives you all the nuts and bolts, it gives you suggestions on how to start a partnership with your local Boy Scout group. Gives you a couple other links. There's actually a Boy Scout Community Organization Award, which I was not aware of until I was preparing for tonight. And this is something that I would encourage you to look into, especially if you have someone in your Kiwanis club who is active with scouting. There's a really cool opportunity to nominate them for an award here. But anyway, you can click on the toolkit and it pulls up a PDF that gives you all kinds of really helpful information about starting a partnership. It talks about who the Boy Scouts are. It talks about why does the Boy Scouts partner with Kiwanis, and it gives you all kinds of really good, substantial information about that partnership. Okay. So something that is really helpful whenever it comes to thinking about your partnerships. You can do that with any one of these different links. So the Kiwanis Warehouse is one that I talked about using personally. If you click on that, again, it gives you a toolkit link, but it also gives you a link to shop. So if you click on this, it's actually going to take you right over to the Dollar Days website. So Kiwanis.dollardays.com. You know, which is really nice. If you haven't checked this one out, I am always looking at this for service project supplies and things like that. There's a lot of really cool stuff on here that you can get at a good rate. But yeah, so definitely check out the website. Like I said, if Kiwanis International adds an organization to their partner list, they will add it right here to the website. I kind of spent an hour just sort of getting lost and checking out all the different partnerships because, like I said, there are a lot of benefits for me as an individual Kiwanian, as well as my club. So there's some really good stuff on here. So I was hoping tonight that we could, if anyone here on the call has done anything with any of our partners or has any personal experiences with any of the partners, if you'd be willing to share. Is that something that anyone here on our call has been able to do? That's totally okay. I think the partnership thing is something I'll be honest, when I was a younger Kiwanian, I just thought it was all spam, everything that I would get. It never connected to me, how this works in the bigger picture. And in fact, the Dollar Days partnership was something I wasn't aware of until about a year ago. But in the past year, we've used it a handful of times.
Brian, Tiffany has her hand raised.
Okay, go. I can't even see those
I
notifications.
figured you couldn't.
I was just gonna say that we sponsor our local Boy Scouts and the Cub Scouts in our community. So we'll do different activities with them. If they need any help with things, they've come to us for different things. So it's great to have that connection with another organization in the community. And we've done the Office Max for like stationery and different stuff with using that as well. Those are probably the two biggest partnerships that we've come across.
Gotcha. Yeah, I know at our club level, the Greensburg clubs, it helps because one of our Kiwanians is really active with the local scouts. Most of our partnership has been in a financial contribution means, but we've always looked for opportunities to do some service projects with them as well.
And then in the chat, Barb says that she has used the Hilton membership, which I did not know we have, but I think that's a great partnership.
Gotcha. And I see Della says their club has used Dollar Days for backpack projects several times. So when I learned about the Dollar Days partnership, I started using that because I'm someone, I also work in education. So I was using Oriental Trading a lot, which is a very comparable warehouse sort of website. But when I learned about the Kiwanis partnership, I quickly shifted over to Dollar Days because it's very comparable.
I know with Office Max, you can, or Depot, whichever it is, you can also get really discounted copying as well.
Good to
if you
know.
need copies.
Awesome.
If you have one of the little key fob things that for Office Max for Kiwanis.
Okay. Is anybody doing March of Dimes? I know I feel in our region it was a lot more popular maybe a decade ago, but I haven't heard much about March of Dimes lately.
I don't know about the March of Dimes, but I know that the IHOP with the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, IHOP was doing like the free meals or whatever if you made donations back. It was sometime in March. And I know that our Kiwanis Club would go into the IHOPs and be not waiters, but seat people and do things like that in the name of Kiwanis for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society.
Okay.
But of course, they haven't done that since the pandemic.
I think IHOP also did that with the Children's Miracle Network, if memory serves, a few years back. It was like one of those pancake days, and like a portion of all the meals went to the Children's Miracle. I think that's who they were raising money for.
Yeah, there are definitely, that sounds familiar, Barb, and I think there are some of those partners that Kiwanis at one point had that don't appear on the list, and I'm not really sure why they don't, but there's definitely some of those that sound familiar. Like that's definitely one that I can recall, and I'm not sure why that organization is not on the list anymore. Of course, at the local level, all of us have partners in our own community that aren't necessarily KI partners, but I think what I would hope that you would take from tonight is that you would take a closer look at the international partners and give it some thought. how can it benefit you as an individual? How can it benefit your club? And, how for some of them, for the nonprofits, what can you do to support those organizations at the club level? And really that's what tonight is all about. I don't really have much more to share, but I just kind of wanted to highlight some of the partners. And I know I plan on kind of going back to my club and trying to figure out how we can leverage the partners that we already have, that we have existing at the international level. It's not something I often hear clubs or Kiwanis talking about, but something we wanted to bring some awareness to you all about. So,
Our club also does sponsor the Boy Scout Council in our area. And the past couple, not the last year or this year, but we helped out with Scouting for Food by manning their telephones on the Scouting for Food Day when people didn't get their food picked up. We would help to get their food picked up, but they didn't want us to do it this year or last year.
Yeah, and that's Scouting for Food. That's a really good example of an easy way that your Kiwanis Club can partner with the local scouts in your community. It's a service project that takes a lot of different hands and a lot of service hours.
Also, I wanted to share, like, utilizing the partnerships for possible speakers at your meetings, and don't be afraid to ask local representatives from those organizations to join your club and to partner with you in your community. It's one way to brand yourself for sure and get service projects and also gain members. So utilize those partnerships. Brian mentioned some local, if you have local ones, also leverage those, but these for Kiwanis International are great too. They're already established, so you just need to make that connection. So.
All right. Well, thank you, Brian. Does anyone else have any questions? Oh, so in the chat, Patty asked if it is possible to contact some of the partners for advertising in the district convention program.
You can. Yep. That would come from the convention committee would write those letters. I know that we Kevin does send email and letters to all the local ones that we utilize, like the Hot Frog and the hotel that you're staying at and all those. Kevin usually hits up and gets those ads. So just an FYI for Patty.
I figured he probably had it covered.
Yeah, but like if you wanted to get Boys and Girls Club, that's not a bad thing to reach out to them locally.
Well, even Office Depot, if they know that there are going to be several hundred Kiwanians there and that they can profit by us too, then maybe they would place an ad.
Yeah, and I think Dollar Days, would be amenable as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sarah.
Because those are the two big ones that I think many clubs use.
All right. So before everyone goes tonight, I just want to remind you that next month's continuing education is on Wednesday, December 15th at 7 p.m. And it will be networking through service. So it will be an opportunity to gather with some of the Kiwanis members from across the district to talk about how you network in your communities, learn what others are doing in their clubs, see how we can help one another. And we will have a special guest that will be announced on Facebook on the forum, hopefully within the next week. So we will have that information out for you to sign up soon. And if you have any questions about partnerships, feel free to reach out to Brian. And if you have any continuing education questions, feel free to reach out to me, and everything else goes to Sarah.